when you are obsessed or bent on stopping somebody or another person or system, economy, or people from developing, you end up you fail to, at the end, you fail to optimize your own development. And we must be very careful not to devote and surrender a lot of resources towards sabotaging or stopping the development of others. This development can be mind, body, and soul. It can be the development of a system, an economy. It can be trying to stop the development of the science and technology of a people. Or it can be trying to stop the spread of an idea or the ideas or philosophies or ideologies of other people. At the end, we hurt ourselves the most. As I say again and again, that intelligence is not a person, it's not a state. It's intelligence, it's a thing in itself that is virtual. It's an idea that cannot be touched, cannot be seen, but it exists. It's an essence of the mind that it's demonstrated through what it does. Intelligence is meant to better the human being, to profit the human being, to prosper the human being, to enhance the life of the human being, to update the mind of the human being, to upgrade the mind and the well-being of the human being itself. Intelligence is that thing in the state of being that enlightens the being, that takes the being to places. Intelligence is that thing, that state in the mind of being and the deeds of that being that prolongs the life of that being, that fosters the existence of that being, that evolves that being, right? That showcase and demonstrate the prowess of the width or the fluid or the utility of the mind, that it optimizes that generation, their existence, and what they can do and what they cannot do. That state of intelligence within the being itself makes the being to be seen differently. It upgrades that being in the minds of others, give that being respect and dignity. And let others know that that being is living a life of purpose, is being driven, is breaking new frontiers, that the resilience of that being, how that being can optimize its common sense, its reason and rationality, using present-day research and technology and sciences, the ability, the triangularism of things to put things together, to solve problems that cannot be solved, to answer questions that cannot be answered. It's that state in the being, that thing called intelligence. It's the purpose for which that being needs. So a person, or people, or group, or science, or generations, or system, of government that can pull themselves together to push the human frontier, to invent and create and design and innovate and engineer with their ingenuity to break new or to create new breakthroughs, to push the limits of where humans cannot be or humans cannot go. We must respect that. That state of being, we must respect that. We must promote that. Whatever political, ideological, religious, cultural, or traditional reasons, it shall be unwise and unwarranted to prevent, to stop intelligence, no matter where it's coming from. Because that intelligence is here to fulfill a need, a humanitarian need. That intelligence is owned by the entire universe, not even by the person that invented or created it. Because that new intelligence is meant to serve a need, a purpose. That new intelligence is meant to better the lives of others. Even if that new intelligence is bad or evil or wrong or is a weapon or something, there is some good in that intelligence. That word intelligence can only be good. Because that word intelligence is a human being itself. I write in my work that a human being is one thing, an intelligence. An intelligence. We must therefore foster that intelligence within that human being. We must therefore give that human being those opportunities, those incentives. We must therefore make that playing field to be level, to promote a merit-based system where everybody can thrive. And within that system, the good in that human being can be manifested. Because it's made manifest that every human being, if given the opportunities and the right tools, and the incentives and motivation and inspiration, and the conduciveness of that state, of that being, of the environment, of the ecology, that a human being has something good in it. And that thing that is good in that human being is its intelligence, its creativity, its ingenuity. The thing that makes the thing to be the thing itself is intelligence within that thing. Because the thing that makes the thing itself is the thing that makes the thing to be known. It's the seed within the human being. It's intelligence. And a human being or a thing or a system or a government or economy or a people, if that thing in themselves is not known, then that thing in itself does not exist. So if we try to prevent the intelligence of others or to sabotage it or to stop it, then therefore we are stopping the existence of that thing itself. We are stopping the existence and the meaning and the essence and the purpose and the good upon which that thing or that people or that system or that economy or that group or that civilization is made. You can imagine stopping the intelligence from building the pyramids. You can imagine stopping the intelligence from building the Great Wall. You can imagine stopping the intelligence of the Incas, of the Mayas. You can imagine stopping the intelligence of the Industrial Revolution. You can imagine stopping the intelligence of the Founding Fathers. You can imagine stopping the intelligence of all the Nobel laureates, all their research and science and technologies and advancement. Why should we do that? Why should we try to stop a people by stopping their intelligence, by retarding their civilization? Who gave us that autonomy, that dominion, that power? And why should we do that? How would that help us? We cannot create a system, a mindset that stops the intelligence of others. By stopping the intelligence of others, you yourself cannot innovate. You cannot compete. You become a thing that glorifies itself with arrogance and narcissism. You become the thing that sees itself like a god. You become the thing that sees itself like the Almighty. You become the thing that sees itself, that has that dominion, that authority. I don't know where it comes from. That it is the thing that everything must follow. And the fear is that that thing that wants everything to follow can end up not being the thing that is the most intelligent, but risk being the thing that is the most cruel. Because when intelligence is taken away, common sense, rationality, reason, the scientific method, compassion, empathy, conscience, good conscience, all is taken away. When the thing that makes the thing to be intelligent is taken away, humility is taken away, the golden rule is taken away, reciprocity is taken away, consensus building is taken away, the win-win situation is taken away, reciprocity is taken away, a system or a being or a dominion or realm of arrogance and narcissism and cruelty and humanity and brutality is built, where a system self-glorified and people see themselves to be the thing that everybody else must follow. We cannot compress and oppress and depress humans to follow that which is not nice, that which is not good, that which is not positive, that which is not intelligent, that which is not humane, that which is not of good, of the human, that which is lacking in morality, in civility, in dignity, in respect, in honor, in integrity, that which is civilized, that which furthers humanity, the human phenotype. When ignorance reigns, arrogance festers. And when arrogance comes to be the thing, narcissism follows. And when narcissism follows, psychopathy and sociopathy and apathy and cruelties and humanities becomes the thing. And when this thing leads, a religion is formed. And that religion becomes my way, that I can do all the evils and good to you. It's because it's my way. The being itself become the God, not a God of intelligence, not a God of humility, not a God of good, not a God of compassion, not a God of empathy, not a God of reciprocity, not a God of consensus, not a God of peace and development, not a God of happiness and opportunities and merit, but a God of nepotism, the God of anarchy, the God of apathy, psychopathy, sociopathy, the God of cruelties, the God of arrogance, the God of narcissism, the God of discrimination, the God of racism, sexism, and bigotry. That God that takes away good conscience. That's what happened when humans worship the God of arrogance, the God of ignorance, the God of themselves. They make themselves to be the God. They make themselves to be the judge. They make themselves to be the arbitrators. They see nothing but themselves, but their civilizations, their race, their kind, their skin, their height, their looks, their frailties, their iniquities, inequalities, their insufficiencies, indeficiencies. All those things are not seen. They're self-absorbed, and they self-consume, and they self-extinct. Because a human being is a being of competition. Competition. You must compete in order to be better. You must compete to know yourself. You must compete to know your limits. You must compete in order to push yourself, in order to raise. The intelligence of Olympia, the intelligence of Olympus, the intelligence of the Olympics teaches us that competition is good. You can never stop competition. You cannot rig the game. As you create a system of laziness, entitlement, and victimhood. You create a system where thinking is to obsess and paranoid of the other because it fears competition. One thing you fail to understand, that racism, sexism, and bigotry came to be because of the fear of competition. When you fear to compete, you look for everything to rig the game. When you fear to compete, you look for everything to tie the hands of others. When you fear to compete, you look for everything to demean, to denigrate, to dehumanize, to demonize others. When you fear to compete, you have every skill in the book and every toolkit to use to tell humans that they don't matter, that you do, that their race is inferior, that yours is superior, that their skin is trash, that yours is better, that their givings and their blessings are nothing, but yours is everything. Those who fear to compete, they seek to dominate. Domination takes away competition. Monopoly takes away competition. You don't monopolize because you want to compete. You don't dominate because you want to compete. You don't oppress and dictate and suppress and depress because you want to compete. You don't dictate because you want to compete. That which takes away competition is tyranny, is oppression, is subjugation, is racism, is sexism, is bigotry, is subjugation, is demonization, is demonization, it's discrimination, it's nepotism, it's favoritism, it's brutalization, it's my way or the highway. It's the stick without the carrots. It's fear. It's Machiavelli. It takes away competition. And when competition is gone, what do we have? We have a system, a people who are lazy, ineffective, thin-skinned, empty. They live for the wrong reasons. They die for the wrong reasons. They are followers. They're timid. They're feeble. They're cowards. You create humans without purpose. You create humans without goal. You create a consumption republic. You create humans that just consume. You create a colony of workers, of wage earners. You take in them that thing that thrive. You take away the competition in them. You create this system that losers have trophies, that everybody complains, everybody whines. You create a system that does not invent, does not innovate, does not create. You create a system that's lack of ingenuity, lack of individualism and self-thrive. You create a system that destroys the do-it-yourself, that independence, that freedom, that liberty, that pursuit of happiness. You create a system where there are no dreamers because the dream is dead. You create a system with a communist type of being and a communist type of mind. When people lack the incentivization or the incentive and the need or the yearn or the urge to create, to innovate, it means creativity is dead. when we seek to oppress and dominate. It's not a good thing. When you oppress the intelligent. When you dominate, Dom, come from the word dom. You dominate the unintelligent. And you oppress the intelligent. Remember, when you dominate the unintelligent and you oppress the intelligent. You cannot dominate great minds. Great minds cannot be accepted to be dominated. Great people cannot be accepted to be dominated. When you see yourself dominating a people, it means you have dominated a colony of weakness. You have colonized a people and taken away the prowess of what it means to be a person. You have replaced that person. You have replaced the personhood, the dignity, that strive. You have taken away the lion or the lioness from that person. And you have replaced the person with sloth, the animal sloth. And you're making that person to be sheep, the animal sheep. And you're making the person to be weak, to be feeble, to be meek and coward and lazy. You have taken away the thinking power of that person. You have taken away the critical mind, that mind that opposes what is wrong. You have taken away the thing that makes the being to doubt, to question, to think and ask and oppose and stand for what is right. It means you have taken away from that mind the mind of the founding fathers. You have taken away from that mind that you dominate, that Genesis mind, that IP or the intellectual property mind. You have taken away that mind of a frontier, that frontier mind, that mind that conquers, that mind that discovers, that mind that wants to lead, not follow, that minds that want to create, that want to invent, that want to innovate, that mind of incentivization, that mind of independence, of individualism, that mind of investment, that mind of industry, that mind of productivity, that mind that takes care of itself, that mind that want to build and build, that mind of science and innovation and research. That's what it does. When you dominate the people, you kill the mind of those people. So the need to dominate is to destroy the minds of humans. The mean to oppress is to oppress intelligent minds. Oppression and domination is not good for the human being. It's not good for a system. It's not good as an ideology or a philosophy. It does not help anybody. Oppression and domination does not help the oppressor and does not help the person that dominates. To dominate and oppress is very expensive. It's very benign. It's a benign philosophy. It's very unintelligent. It's very uncivilized, unkind. It's not good. It's cruel. It's brutal. It's inhumane. It suppresses, oppresses, and depresses the human being from being itself. You cannot be proud for dominating people because you kill their intelligence. You destroy the thing that becomes those people. You make those people unable to think for themselves, and therefore they cannot take care of themselves. You create a dependent race of being. You create an impoverished race of being. You create a kind of being that is weak, that is too weak sometimes even for your own taste. You create a colony of system of cowards. People who cannot think for themselves. Humans who are so afraid of themselves. It's like a snail that is afraid to get out of its shell. If a snail cannot get out of its shell, why is it a snail? If a fish cannot jump out of water to see what is above that horizon, why is it a fish? If humans are not delivered, or if humans are meant to stay in the womb, why are they humans? And if humans cannot journey beyond the earth, or journey beyond their planetary system, why are they intelligent beings? If humans cannot travel beyond their tribe, their village, their city or state, into other provinces or other states, or go beyond their countries or their continent, or try new things, or try the new gadgets of intelligence, eat new things, wear new things, buy new things, go new places, become something new, become something different. Why are they born? If humans cannot challenge themselves to seek new horizons, to test and evolve from their primitive animal intelligence into their natural intelligences and artificial intelligences, why are they human? A human being is an intelligent being. And to be a human being, that human being must create something that it's not natural. The artificiality of intelligence is what makes a human human. And if you take away that artificiality, that powers, that yearn, that need, that necessity, that obligation, that expectation, that responsibility, that duty or service or investment within that being, to create, to invent, to innovate something that is not natural, then you take away that very essence of that being. And when we don't let people create and invent their own intelligences, then at the same time, we call them subhumans. At the same time, we say they're the missing link. They're subhumans because we refuse for their intelligences to grow. We deplete their resources. We prevent them from creating their own research labs and advancing their own technologies. For that reason, we call them subhumans, because we want to dominate and control peoples like that. And when we say humans are the missing link, yeah, they are the missing link because we refuse for their intelligence to grow. We stop their intelligences. We do everything for them not to grow. Remember, I write in my work that the human being grows in its intelligence. The human being evolves in intelligence. The human being becomes a missing link if its intelligence did not grow. Because when your intelligence doesn't grow, you cannot compete. That's when you make the gods of others. That's when you worship others. You worship and venerate other human beings because of their intelligence, because of their indelible minds, because yours did not grow. Let it be that a person is foolish enough not to develop its intelligence. It shall be shameful upon thee to be the person that prevent other people from developing their intelligence. It shall be unwise upon thee to garner thy resources and waste their resources, trillions of their resources, to create a system that prevent others from developing. That is so benign. It's strange in the history of humanity for humans to use a lot of resources to prevent other humans from developing. It's very strange that you impoverish yourself. You go to wars. You create all this bureaucratic state, and you send all these agents, so-called intelligence around the world, of which is not intelligence. It is meant to inhibit intelligence. It's meant to prevent others from growing, from developing mind, body, and soul. That's not intelligent. Those governmental political state of intelligences is unintelligent. It's meant to prevent intelligence. It does everything to prevent a people from growing, from developing their mind, their IP minds. It does everything to prevent people from using their resources. The natural resources are given to humans to develop their artificial resources. Let me say it again. Natural resources are given to humans by nature to develop their artificial resources. It means to develop their minds, to develop the artificialities of their minds. Natural resources are given to humans for humans not to be animals, but for humans to be intelligent beings. Because those natural resources are the natural elements that humans need to put 1 and 2 together. That's what education and science and research comes in. To use those natural resources to produce the plutonium, to develop the gold, the oil, the resources, the new materials, the bauxite, the EV batteries, the AIs. They need these natural resources that is given by nature to humans to develop their intelligence, to power their civilizations, and to evolve in their minds. Why do humans have natural resources? Those natural resources are the test of human intelligence. To test that humans are intelligent beings is how they use those natural resources. Without natural resources, humans are not different from animals. So the natural resources that nature has given to the human beings is for the human beings to use those natural resources to test their intelligence. The more humans can abstract or refine or connect the elements, the periodic tables, or multiply exponentiate those periodic tables, the proof is it that those humans are not animals, but intelligent beings. The missing link between humans and animals are humans who fail to develop. And if you get to see humans who are not developed, you see that are humans who are not able to use their natural resources, either because of their primitive traditions, religions, and cultures, or because they have been prevented by other so-called civilized humans or intelligent humans they have prevented other human beings from using their natural resources. I want to say it again. The missing link between the human being and the apes is natural resources, the utilization of natural resources, or the natural elements, call it that way. The natural elements, the things standing the way between primitivity and development, are the better utilization of natural resources. The thing that make a being not to be developed, its inability to develop its natural resources. When they call it developing nations, it means those are nations that have not developed their natural resources. Underdeveloped nations are nations that have underdeveloped their natural resources. Developing countries are countries that are developing their minds. M-I-N-E. Developing countries are countries that are using their minds. M-I-N-D. To develop their minds. M-I-N-E. Mind your minds in order to be developed. Mind your minds in order to be developed. M-I-N-D. Your M-I-N-E in order to be developed. The missing link between a developed people with infrastructural development, with the missing link between a civilized people and industrialized people, and artificially intelligently developed people. It's the underdevelopment of their natural resources. And that natural resources equally includes the human mind itself. You have the external natural resources and the internal natural resources. An underdeveloped being, a developing being, it's a being that is developing in its external resources and its natural resources. An underdeveloped being is a being that is underdeveloped in its natural resources and underdeveloped in its internal resources. Internal resources is the mind, the intelligence within. It's different from the intelligence without. AI, intelligences philosopher, Prince Israel Tsar, Las Vegas, January 27, 2025.